Hi, I'm Heather from the Mushroom Hotline at Fungi Perfecti. Today, I'm going to tell you about one of my favorite mushrooms to grow, the oyster mushrooms. Today, I have three different types here. We have the common pearl oyster mushroom, Pleurotus austratus. Then we have the blue oyster, Pleurotus austratus variation columbinus. And we also have the pink or flamingo oyster, Pleurotus dijamor. All of these have a mild and mushroomy flavor. They all saute up really well, and they tend to absorb and complement the flavor of whatever it is that you're cooking them with. They are full of B vitamins, high in protein, and contain no cholesterol. These are fast growers, so if you've never grown mushrooms before, have kids at home, are looking for a science experiment, or just plain love growing mushrooms, these would be perfect for you. So aside from their obvious color differences, they also each require a different temperature range in order to produce mushrooms. The pearl oyster needs to be between 55 and 75 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas the blue oyster needs to be cooler, between 45 and 65 degrees Fahrenheit, and your pink oyster needs to be warmer, between 70 and 85 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's important not to let them get too warm, or they may not produce mushrooms very well. You should expect to get about 2 to 3 pounds of fresh mushrooms over its 2 to 3 month lifespan. Upon receiving your mushroom patch, you should open it up and inspect for any growths that may have occurred during transit. If there are any growths, go ahead and remove them and discard. You can compost them. They make a great addition. Inside the box, you should also find a set of instructions and a plastic bag with holes in it. This plastic bag is your humidity tent and will help create a humid environment for your mushroom patch to grow in. Once you've read your instructions, go ahead and inspect your humidity tent to make sure that all of the holes are open. If they are not open, go ahead and continue punching them out. This will allow for proper oxygen exchange throughout the growing process. If too much carbon dioxide builds up, the mushrooms can start to take on an octopus-like formation. Once you've inspected your humidity tent, go ahead and take your mushroom patch and place it on a shallow plate or dish to collect condensation and moisture throughout the process. Once it's on your plate, you can begin misting it with a mister bottle 1 to 3 times a day. It's important to use non-chlorinated, non-distilled water. If you're in an area that does have chlorinated water, you can dechlorinate your water by boiling it for 15 minutes or leaving it in an open container for 24 hours. Then, you take your humidity tent and place it over your mushroom patch. It is important to keep the mushroom patch in the original bag that it came in, as there are holes in it that will allow the mushrooms to emerge. The patch should also be sitting in an open area that receives ambient light, but not direct sunlight, as this can quickly dry out the mushrooms and the mushroom patch. It should also receive good natural airflow to prevent any carbon dioxide buildup. The mushroom patch should be out of the way of any direct heating or cooling source, such as an air conditioning unit or wood stove, as these rob the air of moisture. You should notice signs of condensation inside the humidity tent between misting. If the mushroom patch is drying out quickly, or if the mushrooms are emerging and then quickly drying out, you may need to increase the amount that you're misting or move it away from the heating or cooling source. Possibly look at putting it in a cooler room. Within 1 to 2 weeks of receiving your mushroom patch, you should notice baby mushrooms beginning to form. These baby mushrooms are called primordia. The primordia will begin to appear as white masses or bumps under the inner bag. These bumps will begin to produce clusters of mushrooms, starting as little pinheads that will grow rapidly in size over the next 3 to 5 days. You can tell your mushroom's mature when it's still slightly curved under, but before it completely flattens out. And you want to harvest the entire cluster at once as soon as that first mushroom is mature. If you only harvest one mushroom, the entire cluster will not continue growing. Over time, you will notice that your mushroom patch will decrease in size and eventually stop producing mushrooms. This is because it's exhausted its available nutrients and needs a new food source in order to continue producing mushrooms. This process is called maximizing your mycelial mileage. If you have any questions about this process or growing your mushroom patch in general, please consult your instruction booklet. And if you have further questions, give us a call at 1-800-780-9126. And we're available Monday through Friday, 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Thanks for watching.